Hello everybody, Kyle here. I haven't done a video since my best of 2023, and I thought the best way to bringing the new year of 2024 was to review Madam Web. Yeah, this movie is awful. So, if you're afraid of Madam Web spoilers, um, I would maybe watch this until after you see the movie. Come back and watch it after. But I'm just gonna talk about it and my thoughts. I went into this film with very low expectations given not only the reviews that came out before I saw it, but also just the marketing for Madam Web has just been so lifeless, and it doesn't feel like this movie, at least Sony doesn't feel like they ever had any confidence in this film. It's to the point where Dakota Johnson, the lead star of the movie, is like, "Oh, it's a movie. I like it. It was fun to work on, like you'll see it twice." But like I've never seen such unenthusiasm coming from these actors. I don't even think unenthusiasm is a word. Then again, I don't think any of the people that wrote the screenplay know what words are. The Madam Web movie is written by the same people that wrote films such as Gods of Egypt, Morbius, and I will say that they wrote Power Rangers, which I did enjoy, but it's not a great bunch of credits for them. It really isn't. And it's also not good because I feel really bad for the director, S.J. Clarkson. She is a first-time film director. She's done a number of television shows, from Succession to Jessica Jones, and it's like, I just feel so bad because I don't believe this was her fault. I believe that this movie was tampered by Sony in post-production, by the editing. I think the most egregious part about this movie that I cannot stand is, from what I've been looking at online, the leaks. This movie was supposed to be a different movie. The plot of this film deals with Cassandra Webb, played by Dakota Johnson, having to essentially prevent the deaths of three young girls that she knows they are going to die in the future, and she gets these visions of them being hunted by this bad guy, Ezekiel Sims, who wants to kill them because they kill him in the future. And she's in this accident. She develops these powers where she can see through the future, and a lot of that is, I think, really interesting. The problem is, one, according to a number of leaks, the film was originally supposed to be about this villain, Ezekiel Sims, going after Peter Parker's mother and trying to kill her before Peter Parker was born. They changed that, I bet, in reshoots, to have him going after these girls. The girls are Julia Carpenter, played by Sydney Sweeney, Maddie Franklin, played by Celeste O'Connor, and Anya Corzone, played by Isabella Merced. And they just don't give these characters really anything to do in this movie. Many of these actors feel like they are just sleepwalking through their lines. They don't really care about the material. I will give it to Celeste O'Connor playing Maddie and Isabella Merced as Anya Corzone. I feel like they kind of try their best to elevate the material they're given, but it's just so bare bones that it feels like we're seeing these great actors being wasted in this film. But the main character is Madam Web, Cassandra Webb, and she is just so uninteresting. She's such a very one-dimensional character, a character that has a tragic backstory, but at the same time, it feels like I don't care. I don't care about what happened to her mother in the Amazon when she was researching spiders before she died. Like, I don't care about any of it. And I don't care when this movie is supposed to be a film in the Spider-Verse, where you have Madam Web able to see throughout the Spider-Verse. I just don't care where it's headed. I also hate, and this is one of the things I hate about this movie, I hate the villain. The villain in this film is awful. He's honestly, I think, one of the worst comic book movie villains ever. Like, his whole premise about him being hunted by these women that are going to kill him, we have no backstory for. We don't know why they're going to kill him. We don't know why we should care about him surviving. If anything, they could have given us a reason for us to really root for him, but they don't. He's just a bad guy chasing them. And what's also annoying about all of this is the trailers for this film try and make it like, oh, this is a real Spider-Man movie where you have these Spider Women, and they show you their suits and you show them fighting this guy. And that's a dream montage that lasts 1 minute, and that's about it. You never see them wearing their suits for the rest of the movie, aside from maybe a little tease at the end. They never do anything except scream and run away. And then you have Madam Web, who also doesn't have a suit, or really, her powers are just that she can see through the future. So it's quite boring. It really feels like a comic book movie directed and written by people that don't want it to be a comic book movie. It feels like people are like from the early 2000s when they were afraid to give, the X-Men real X-Men outfits and to have them fighting. And it feels like it's in a time period where studios didn't care about comic books and they only cared about the money. And that's what it feels like when it comes to this movie. It feels like it's a corporate decision to make a Sony Spider-Man-less movie so that they can hold on to the rights, get as much money as they can, and then after that, boom, release more Morbius films. It's like, enough of this. The audience does not like these movies. We do not want Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man. And we do not want any more of these Spider-Man universe films that feel like they were written and shot by like 5-year-olds. There's a shot in this movie of just two characters talking, and it's the camera's like shaking. It's like shaking the whole time, and then it's like moving in and moving out, moving in mid-conversation. And then there's another scene in this film, which is Cassandra Webb talking to Ezekiel in this like massive hero-villain confrontation about why he's going after these girls. And it's edited horribly. Like, there's this one thing, like, for instance, he's talking to her, and then he moves away, and then it's like cut, and then he's back here, then it's away, then over here, and then over here, and it's like, why in the world are you making this movie where the audience cannot fully even understand who is talking to who and what setting and where they are? It was a headache. It was very hard to watch. And I also found it annoying that they are wasting these actors and these characters, because all these Spider-Women are great characters, but also Madam Web, I grew up watching the Spider-Man animated series. Madam Web was one of my favorite characters in that series. And the fact that she doesn't even get her, essentially Madam Web, she's in a wheelchair and she has glasses and such. She doesn't get any of this until the end of the movie, because according to this film, it's an origin story, which means, no, you don't get to see that hero become the hero we want to see until the last minute of the movie. It's just a waste of time. And the action is not good. The music is forgettable. And I don't care, like, a lot of people are saying, oh, it has great music in it because it's set in 2003 for no reason at all, aside from what I think is the reshoots wanted to have Spider-Man in it, and then they had to cut him out, so the 2003 setting makes absolutely no sense. it's not in any universe. So you're making a movie in your Spider-Man universe that Sony's doing. It's not set in any universe. It's set in a completely different universe from the Venom movies, Morbius movies, MCU movies. It's completely different. There's nothing special about it. It never feels like they're trying to subvert the genre or really come up with an interesting idea. Because, I mean, I will say it feels like at times a Terminator film, but it's a Terminator film with no suspense, no, captivating action, uninteresting characters, and it's a Spider-Man universe movie, once again, without Spider-Man. And if you want to know, I will spoil this, but I guess you could say Spider-Man shows up in this film as a baby, but it's almost like what Marvel couldn't do back in before when Fox had the X-Men. They couldn't say the word mutant. It's like they can't say the word Peter Parker. Like, if for some reason, even though Peter Parker could be in this movie, they never say that Peter Parker's in this movie. It's bad. It's really bad. I just wish they did a better job, and I just want to see good comic book movies, because we have good comic book movies. And I don't care what anyone says. The Marvels was a good movie. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was a good movie. And I even liked Quantumania. But this is by far the worst Sony Universe film. And this is quite possibly my least favorite comic book movie. I can't think of another movie worse than this. And I also do not want to see a sequel. I do not want to see a spin-off. I want this to end. And sure, people might be enjoying these movies. There could be fans out there. Good for you. Good for you. But personally, I never want to see these movies again. Kraven's coming out. It's Kraven. I'll unfortunately go and see it. But I have no hope for that movie. And I have no hope for Venom 3 either, because it's made by the same people now. And Andy Serkis isn't directing, because I thought he did a good job in the second film. But, no. No. This movie broke me. This movie is terrible. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And, yeah, I'll catch you later on the next video for this year. Hopefully it's better than this awful film. So, okay, guys. Bye.